Good morning, beauties, and happy Saturday. It is November 2nd, and I feel like today is the perfect day for a reset vlog. Since it's the start of a new month and we're about to head into the holidays, I really feel like there's a lot of things I need to refresh. For example, I broke my nail in my last vlog. I did do a temporary fix, but it ended up completely breaking not too long after. So I think today I'm gonna go try to find an extra nail. I don't usually use things that aren't my real nails, but I'm just really not ready to part with the length and the shape of my nails. I love them. So I just figured since one of them is broken, I could get something to fix that. But I'm super excited for today's video because the nail portion of the video is actually sponsored by Nail Reserve. Nail Reserve is actually a vegan and cruelty-free nail brand, which I'm super excited about because I feel like it's so uncommon to find a vegan and cruelty-free nail polish brand, especially when it comes to gel polishes. So when I go to do my November nails today to reset for November, we're gonna be using some of their products, and I'm gonna try to go more in depth on how I do my manicures at home and kind of my tips to make them look as professional as possible and kind of get rid of all those pet peeves that you usually get when you get your nails done, or at least for me personally. Other than that, I just feel like I need a reset for November because there's so many things that I feel like are on my to-do list. So we'll have to see what else needs to be done today. I'm once again just letting my hair air dry. I mean, it's not that I've been super lazy. I have been styling it for occasions, like whenever I film content or like I styled it for the Sabrina Carpenter concert. I styled it for Halloween, which was literally just like 2 days ago. So I've only been trying to style my bangs on like my off days. But you can totally tell that I've kind of straightened the curl out of my hair again. It's just gonna look frizzy and kind of gross today. I might put it up, I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. Let's go get dressed. And here we have today's look. Essentially, this entire outfit is from Halara. I love this long sleeve top. I just feel like it is so elegant. And it's just the simplest thing to throw on. You don't even need a bra. And I just have their colored pants on with a little simple black belt. And now it's time for the nail portion of the video. This portion of the video is kindly sponsored by Nail Reserve. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, they are a vegan and cruelty-free nail brand. We have 6 different gel polishes to try from them today. One is the base coat, one is the top coat, and 4 of them are colors. And for the top coat, I decided to go with the no wipe top coat just because it's easier in my opinion. The first color is this baby blue. I think it's just such a pretty color. The name of this color is Morning Sky. I think it's very fitting and I think it's just so pretty. I feel like you always need a good baby blue in your collection. I did kind of pick out a bunch of random colors, so I'm not going to be using all of them on my nails today, but I will swatch them so you can see what the colors look like. I'm probably just going to pick one that fits best with November. Next we have this gorgeous teal color. It reminded me of Taylor Swift's Our Song music video. I don't know if any of you ever try to replicate her toenail polish or nail polish in that video, but it's basically like a teal with a bunch of white polka dots. So I got this just so I can do that because that used to be something I used to do all the time in middle school. I also forgot to mention these little top caps actually pop right off. And you can see the color of the nail polish right on this tiny little swatch. That way, if you're ever trying to match an outfit to your nail polish, you can bring just this little piece out with you to the store and not have to carry the entire bottle and risk it spilling and getting in your purse. And you can literally put it right up to your outfit when you're shopping and see if it's a good match. This color is actually called Seafoam, which is funny because that's technically my favorite color. But when it comes to seafoam, there are just so many shades. I feel like this is more of a teal type of seafoam. The next shade is called Bloom. It's a really beautiful, sparkly light pink. I'm not sure how this is going to look on, but it was really pretty on their website, so we'll have to see with the swatch. And last but not least, I got this really beautiful shade of red. It's called BFF. I feel like this is more of a cherry red instead of a bright red. I really hate it when red nail polishes are too much of a true red, So I like it when they're more dark like this. This will most likely be the one that I use today. Okay, so here is the little nail setup in my office. Nail Reserve actually sells these little LED lights, and I do have a 50% off coupon code that you can use. So I would definitely recommend getting one from there so that you can save some money. I try to keep acetone on hand when I'm doing my nails. It's just really good for cleanup. And of course, to go along with that, I have a little brush that I dip in the acetone. And I just use this for the edge cleanups as I go, or if I'm doing a French nail like you see here. I use this brush to go in and make that French tip detail. But overall, just a really useful tool to have when you're doing your nails to keep it clean. I would highly suggest getting a professional grade nail file. And these two silver tools help me remove the gel and push back my cuticles. And the little tweezers help me with applying any gemstones or decorative pieces if I'm doing that. Which I'm gonna see what I have today. I may or may not do gemstones, we'll just have to see. But first and foremost, we have to remove my gel polish. I always start by taking off my jewelry. You can do this with just a nail file if you'd like, or if you have an e-file, you can also use that, but I would definitely not recommend starting off with an e-file because you can really hurt your nails and make them thin. So I would just start off with a regular old file. A safe way to start off with an e-file is to not go above 6 on your level of speed. And I usually just kind of take off that clear coat with it. And that way I don't risk, like I'm not going to take all of the gel polish off, so I'm not going to risk hitting my true nail with the e-file. And I'm just going to take the rest off with the regular nail file. So I'm still getting the speed of getting the majority of it off with this, but I'm not risking hurting myself since I'm not a professional and I'm not trained. But obviously the more experience you have, the more you'll learn. I forgot to mention there's also gel polish removers that you can kind of paint on top of your gel once you remove the clear coating, and it helps it kind of puff up and it helps with this process. And Nail Reserve actually has some on their website, so you might want to check that out if you want a quicker gel removal process. But to finish off my gel removal, I'm just going to use the 180 grit side. Okay. Now that I have my nails filed down, I'm going to file them into the shape I want. Okay, so the lighting is starting to look a little weird over my station, but this is the nail that I'm choosing. I've literally never used fake nails, so I'm really not sure how this is gonna go. I'm not sure if I need to file it down for a rough surface before I do the gel, or I'm not even sure how to glue them on. We're gonna figure it out. Now you can see how wacky the lighting is over here. It's like stringing in all weird. So I guess you put it on the nail. This stuff has gotta be dry. Okay, so we've got some brush on nail glue. This will work. Okay, so I've got the fake nail on my ring finger. You can obviously tell because it's completely white. I did file it down a bit because gel does need a rough surface. And here is the other hand. I actually put 2 fake nails on these nails as well because they were also broken or about to break off. And I just really didn't want to risk having to redo my nails again. So I'm going to quickly rinse my hands and then we can start swatching those colors. I forgot to mention, but don't use soap when you're washing your hands before you start your gel polish, and always let your nails dry out completely. I'm not going to put a base on just yet because I'm just going to swatch the colors to see what they look like, and then once I'm ready to do the polish that I'm actually going to do today, I'm going to put the base coat on. So I've just applied the blue one so far. I'm not trying to make it perfect since this isn't like my final coat. Just want you guys to see the color. Okay, so here are the swatches, and I'm honestly obsessed with all of them. I'm kind of torn between this pink and the red to do for November. I feel like I could go either way. The red seems very Christmassy, which I am in the mood to jump right into Christmas, but I also feel like the pink would be a really nice neutral for November. Honestly, I'm so impressed by these polishes already. The formula is so thick, like this is literally one coat. And if you've ever done your own nails, you know especially pastel colors and light colors need multiple coats. Well, I guess now I have to choose between the pink and the red for today. Here are the final results. I think I'm just going to keep them simple with no jewels on them. And this is my non-dominant hand. I'm not really a fan of how the fake nail shapes came out, but If you would like to do your own gel manicures at home too, go ahead and use my discount code for 50% off. These gel polishes are super thick and I love that they're vegan and cruelty free so you can feel good about your manicure. And I don't think I mentioned how awesome the packaging is, how eco-friendly. There's absolutely no plastic. It's all just recyclable cardboard. So they're an extremely sustainable brand. I feel like this nail color is just perfect for the holiday season and transitioning into like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And here are the nails in natural direct lighting. I feel like it gives a different vibe. So it's actually been a few days since I've done my nails, which by the way, sorry for my hair. It kind of, I don't know, it might look okay, but I did try heatless curls for the first time last night and the results were okay. Like half of my hair was really nice and the other half was really flat and frizzy. I think one of the sides was a little too loose. So I did just touch it up and I feel like, I don't know, it looks a little funny to me. Anyways, I felt like it was a little complicated to try to explain all of my top tips for doing your own gel polish at home while I was actually doing my gel polish. So I'm popping in right now to try to share my personal nail pet peeves, like when I go to the salon or have someone else do them. And I guess what I do at home for my own nails to try to prevent these pet peeves. I'm gonna be completely honest, I am extremely particular with my nails, and that is honestly why I started doing my own nails, because it seemed like no matter who I went to, they did one of these things that I just could not stand. The first tip for doing your own gel polish at home is to do each coat as thin as you can. Now, the pet peeve that's preventing is the bulging of the gel polish. I don't know if you've ever been to the nail salon and you come back and you can kind of see like one side of your nail is like extra bulgy, almost looks like the polish dripped and bulked up in like one side of your nail. Does that make sense? Like there was obviously too much product and it kind of just settled in a certain part of your nail and it just makes it look misshaped. It makes it peel faster. It just, that is one of those things that is just, I expect non-professionals to do it, but when a professional does it, oh, it bothers me. Like what? That is so preventable. Just don't keep a lot of product on your brush. Like just stick to thin layers, keep very little product on your brush, and if you realize that you have a little bit too much paint on your nail, scrape as much of the polish off of the brush as you can and then go back and take away that polish. So you're like going back in, swiping away the polish and putting it back in the tube. Does that make sense? But y'all, we can't be having the gel lumps, the uneven nails. No. We have control over this. The second tip I have, clean up your nails before you go painting them. So obviously you're gonna file down your nails. You're going to like, you know, be doing a lot to your nails before you put the polish on. You know, you're gonna be taking your old gel off, you're going to be filing, there's going to be lots of random dust and all the grime, the like leftover nail. Like, you know, when you file your nail down and get it to the shape, there's usually like almost like a layer of nail that kind of still stays, or like some flaking on the edge. The flaking, that's what I'll use the word. It looks like flaking on the edge of your nail. And also some of the dust powder, like you've got to rinse your hands off thoroughly, and once you do that, scrape under your nails. Like get all of that off, because if you don't, you're gonna have those little sharp edges. The gel is going to cling onto every stray piece at the end of your nail, so you want it to be so clean and so smooth. Obviously you want the top of your nail to be rough, which if you didn't already know that, that's a tip to make it stay. That's kind of like gel polish 101. Like obviously you have to like have a rough surface to put your gel polish on, so you have to like file the top of your nail to make it rough, but you want the edges to be nice and smooth and clean. That way when you're all done with your gel, you won't have those little sharp edges where the gel polish kind of clinged on to any of the dust or the little pieces from you filing your nail. It's just all clean. Which obviously you can clean up the edges of your nail with a file after you've painted them. However, you really just want to stick to like little tiny touch-ups, because if you file the outside of your nail after you've put the gel polish on, it kind of removes that barrier that you've created with the outside, which is actually in my next tip. Sorry, my cat just came and sat in front because she sees me talking to the camera. But that can actually lead to the edges of your gel polish peeling sooner, which leads me to my next tip. I learned this from one of my favorite nail artists. He actually just doesn't do nails anymore. He changed careers. The tip is to, when you are applying your gel polish, continue your gel polish on the outside edge of your nail. So once you've cleaned it all up and you've got that smooth edge, you want to seal your gel polish on the outside of your nail. That way, as time is going forward, it will last so much longer. And if you like hit your nails on something, like imagine like a water bottle, for example, or anything that we like tapping our nails on. Every single time you tap your nail, if you continue your gel on the outside, it creates that like barrier to where it is hitting that and not the separation of your nail. It's going to prevent anything coming between your nail and your gel, so it's not going to peel as soon. It literally just seals it off so that it's gonna stay. My final tip to keep the nails looking clean and professional when you do them yourself is to not take the gel all the way back to your cuticle. So if you bring it back too far to your cuticle, then if it touches your cuticle, that polish is going to bleed all throughout your cuticle and get on your skin, and it just does not look good when it grows out or just in general once you finish. If you just go back far enough to where it's not touching your cuticle, then it's going to give you that clean, professional look, and it's going to grow out very smoothly. And if you do happen to get it in your cuticles, then just use the acetone and paintbrush to kind of clean that up. And that's also a big tip. I already mentioned that, but using the acetone and paintbrush as you go to clean up the edges. You don't want to see little places where you touched your skin with the polish. It looks really unclean at the end, so just go ahead and clean it up. So while I love the plain red for November, I did order some little gold leaf decals for my nails. I'm not super talented when it comes to painting my own design with the gel polish, but you can find just about any decal you want online to pair with the gel. So when you do your own gel at home, if you want to make it look extra professional, you can do the little decals and just put a clear coat on over that and bam. So I'll show you the update once I get those on. I also got some organization stuff because my nail center is getting really cluttered and out of hand. So I'll continue on this vlog once everything comes in. Okay, so you have to promise you won't judge me, but I'm gonna show you the cabinet right now, the before shot. Yes, it's very messy. We've got random polishes everywhere. We've got camera equipment down there. It's chaos. It's gross. So, also, so this organizer did just come in the mail. However, it was completely broken down and every single piece was in individual plastic. And I had to do each of these screws individually, which it looks easy, but it wasn't. There's like washers and they were so small, there was nothing to hold them with. Anyway, this took like an hour to put together. So while we have this, the other little like drawers to store the majority of all this junk, they came, but all I had to do was put in the little pullers, like the drawer pulls. And when I did that on one of the drawers, it like split the plastic. So I'm gonna have to return those and get new ones. But for now, we're just gonna try to organize what we can. So this is it up really close. This is the before shot of the messy drawer. So I'm doing the after shot now that the second replacement drawers have come in. So this is fully organized. I think this is such a huge transformation. I'm like obsessed. This is the perfect little nail cabinet. So I ended up just adding one gold leaf per hand. I just felt like adding too much would have just overwhelmed the nails, and I felt like this just looked really pretty and classy. It's hard to tell with the lighting. It like keeps shining too much so you can hardly see. Let me see if I can put it in some different lighting. I feel like you can see it a little better in this lighting right here. But yeah, I just overall, I love this nail polish. Thank you so much again to Nail Reserve for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to use my discount code RandyFawcett for 50% off your entire order. Make sure to use my link in the description box to order your polishes. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.